Hello and welcome everybody. It is fantastic to have you all here. Thank you very much for joining me for this livery stream. It's been a long time since I have done a livery stream, and of course to help me in this quest, I have managed to wrangle Ryan, who has been generous enough to offer some time to help us get underway with this livery. So hi Ryan, how's it going?
Help is a strong word.
Help? Well, yeah, okay, totally do all of it for me. You know, I'm going to go with help, but yeah, okay,
well,
sure.
I mean, you do need to concentrate on the chat.
I do. And look, I've got one other friend here to help me through this wonderful journey of ours, and it's, you know it, lemon squash.
The initial crack was good, mate, but the follow-through was a bit average.
That is a tasty, tasty beverage. Now, you can start sharing whenever you like, and I will flick over and join you in that. But whilst you do that, big welcome to everybody in the chat. It's fantastic to have you all here. We've already got, who have we got? We've got Hippie, Mojo. In fact, I think I can click a little bit of a... Oh, there we go. Hang on. It's all right. Don't mind me. Share play. You've started that. Now, how do I view you again?
Yeah. It took me a while to work out how to share it again.
Join share play. That's what I'm doing, isn't it?
Sounds pretty straightforward to me.
There we go. Transition that over across. We can hook straight on into it. I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant to do. It seems to be working. It does seem to be working.
Just as an FYI, that image that you have on your starting soon, for all those who continue to watch that starting soon thing every now and then, I obviously got that image running down into the braking area at the second straight at Catalunya. But what I did was I actually took a section of just road without the car on it and just made that absolutely huge, so that it filled out the rest of the image. But
which image is that?
Your starting soon logo.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Aston. The Audi R8. Yeah, absolutely. It does look cool.
Yeah, well, I did it because I just couldn't find one that I liked that was nice and clean. But yeah. But anyway, here we are.
I love it. Here we are. So yeah, ultimately I've been unable to do any testing at all for this race as of yet, other than the fact that I did obviously do a 12-hour race around Bathurst. It was an iracing, completely different game. And typically in my experience, the pace doesn't transfer across between games. So
no, you're right there.
Yeah, it's something I'm going to have to relearn and go again. But I have asked Ryan to do a few things tonight, so I'm going to drop this disclaimer a few times before I get over to the chat, reading the chat, and I will do that and catch up. I've asked Ryan to do a couple of things. One, I'm looking for something different. So obviously my livery is normally much like that Audi R8 we were just looking at, talking about before. I normally go the red, black, and a little bit of white theme. That's my overall theme. It's the colour of my logo. I've asked Ryan specifically for something different today. I don't want it to be that norm theme. I want it to be something a little bit different. So that is why you might see some different colours, such as the gold. He's chosen as a base colour here. That is part one of the disclaimer. Part number two is the fact that I've also asked Ryan to sort of rush a little bit. Now, obviously, you guys know how good Ryan's liveries are. I don't need to explain that to you. But he also has a reputation to uphold. You do this for... You don't do it for a living, but you certainly do it on a professional basis, i.e. you get paid by real race teams to make liveries. So you've got a certain quality and a certain standard you like to uphold with every livery, because you could be judged on every livery. I have specifically asked Ryan to rush through this a bit, because this is going to be around about a 2-hour stream, and I kind of want the car, the overall design, to be done, so you guys can see what it is going to look like, even if there's a few little touch-ups he has to do later. But it is a disclaimer I'm going to drop. If it's not quite up to his normal perfect standards, it's my fault. It's nothing to do with Ryan. I've asked him to rush through a little bit. So I will continue to say that throughout the stream. If you see anyone else go, yeah, look, it's not bad, but it's not up to Ryan's normal standards, you can say, well, that's Charlie's fault, because he asked him to rush.
And at the end of the day, I'm probably going to, even when I finish this, even if it looks fantastic, I'll still go back.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, going back to this while we watch Ryan hook straight into this, and I can't wait to see already how this is going to turn out. We can go through it together.
I was going to say a bit of it. I did sit here and look at the car for about 30 to 40 seconds beforehand to try and work out a bit of a game plan. So you can see that, yeah, I am attacking pretty hard with an idea in my head.
Yes, no, that is good. I like it. I like a game plan.
Much like I did with the Lexus I did for you.
Yeah, you had a game
delivery
plan.
or anything.
Yeah.
I had a look around, worked out the lines of the car, and sort of worked out what I wanted to do, and just took it from there, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good. I like it. Now, why is YouTube now go to top chat? I want live chat. I don't want top chat. I want everything.
Yeah, that changed mine too.
But yeah, it is great. Great to be joined, of course, by as I said, Hippie Mojo, Squid, Staniel, Ring Driver, G-Rex. Who else have I? Hopefully, not Nick Magic. Welcome to you. Big special welcome to you, and Staniel, of course, as well. We've got Thunderpants Brownsy. He's here. Good to see. Hubie as well. Harry. And the Chook Man. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Welcome to you even if you're not chatting away. You're just sitting there in the background. Appreciate you having along. Speedy Tires, welcome, welcome. Muppet as well. It's great to have you all here for what is hopefully just a nice casual stream. I can concentrate on the chat. We can throw some banter Ryan's way. I can sit back and have a beer and just respond to you guys. So this is, I really enjoy these streams. I haven't done a livery stream for so long. Looking forward to it. It's going to be good. So the buzz is, there's been so much buzz about this race. This 1.2 hour, I've absolutely loved it. My Discord has been just alive. It has just been lit up for the last bloody week and a half or two since I announced the race, which is great to see. So I appreciate everyone's enthusiasm. I'm pretty excited for it. I think it's going to be a great event, and I look forward to doing these throughout the year as there are other real-life endurance races come up. I'm going to be trying to follow that along and have a bit of fun where we can. Hopefully Gran Turismo adds in a few more of our favourite tracks, and we can keep doing them. So what's going on? Still plenty of banter by the looks of it about people's pace that they've got. 2 full lobbies, absolutely, Mojo. There is 2 full lobbies. I was stoked to see that. We've got 30 people signed up. Obviously, I will be in each lobby, so it automatically removes 1 spot. We've also got 3 reserve drivers in case people don't turn up. But if you've missed out on all of that, and you would still like the chance to run, the only thing I can really recommend is be sitting there ready to go with your game turned on at the start of both races, because if we can't get enough people, even with the reserve drivers, you know, people can't show up, life happens, gets in the way.
Technical difficulties, people drop out, their internet's shit, and if we end up struggling and we can't fill a grid in either race, then you will be more than welcome to join. I'm basically just going to go, look, first in gets it. So if you can still, then be at the ready. Feel for Aries is really burnt out at Bathurst. Yeah, that one got him. That one got him real good, Muppet. I do feel for Rory. I'm sure he'll be totally fine. He's okay. He just needs a break. I did exactly the same thing at Christmas. And, you know, he's probably learnt the hard way that as much as he wanted to create content, which is great, which is fantastic, especially for you guys, the fans who want to watch it, it's really good of him to do that. But I think everyone needs a break. There's a reason why holidays get given to you through work, because it's healthy, it's good, and you need some time to spend with your family. And yeah, he's probably discovered. And that Bathurst 12 hour, that was a bitch of a race. It really was hard work for everybody involved. I know I was up all night. It took a whole week of just dedicated practice, and it meant I had to put live streams off. Like, I only put out 1 piece of content for that week up until the Bathurst 12 hour. So it is a big thing. It's a big drain. And obviously he had a bit of a rough race. Like, we both had a rough race. But he had a few little dramas that probably wasn't what he was wanting to see. And that is exactly the sort of thing that can just get you down to the point where you're like, I need a break. I can't do this anymore. And that's totally fine. He'll be fine. He'll bounce back. He'll be back. And, you know, he's going to move across to doing a little bit more live streaming as opposed to videos. Something else I can relate to, because videos take a hell of a lot of time to make, a hell of a lot of effort. And the worst thing, like for me, it's totally unmotivating sometimes, because
I put in bulk effort into making those videos. You know, I'll do a 2-hour live stream, and that's fine, even a 3-hour live stream. But sometimes it'll take you 10 hours or more to make a video, and then not that many people watch it, and you kind of go, why am I bothering? So I understand what he's going through. I know that he'll be totally fine. He'll be back live streaming. He's going to do more live streams and videos, I believe, by the sounds of it. So good on him, and all the best. People are liking the livery so far, Ryan. They're liking what they see.
I wish this line wasn't such a pain in the ass.
It's not been that friendly to you, is it? Hey Jev, how are you? Another Bathurst race? Yeah, it is indeed. So this is the one that... This is my second annual Bathurst 1.2 hour. I wouldn't be quite as foolish to try and run anything anywhere near that long on Gran Turismo. First of all, we've only got a lobby of 16 of us is the total. You know, you got to remember in iRacing, we had 55 people per lobby. I think there were a total of 17 splits in the end, so that's 17 races with 55 people per race. So, yeah.
Significant.
It's a lot. And in Gran Turismo, it's going to get pretty lonely after a while. You get people disconnect, people drop out. Suddenly you've got... I mean, even in those shorter races I've run, you end up with 10 people in the lobby. Imagine what that'd be like after 12 or even 6 hours. Even 6 hours, I think, would probably, you know, even 4 hours at that point, you're going to have like 5 people in the liveries in the lobby. So, yeah, it's something I have wanted to avoid.
Definitely not do anything like a 6 hour. That'd be ridiculous.
I think I could probably push this out to 2.5 hours. I think 2.4 hours would be all right for 24-hour races, which is what I'll try and run. But it doesn't sound as good. I like the fact that 1.2 hours is, you know, it's just the 12-hour with a dot in the middle.
Yeah.
Livery stream, this is going to be good. Absolutely all Alonatron. Great to have you here, by the way. If you ever need a break, we promise we won't be mean to you. Thanks, Kogan. Well, I took a break over Christmas. I flogged myself like a rented mule, and I don't mean that sexually, in the lead up to Christmas to make sure I had videos recorded, ready, sitting there ready to upload. I scheduled them, and I took the best part of 2 complete weeks. I think it was slightly longer than 2 complete weeks. It was basically 3 weeks, and I made 1 video. I only made that video about the what was it, when Gran Turismo divided up the regions and kind of screwed us over. That was the only video I made in 3 weeks over the Christmas period, and I absolutely needed that, I can tell you right now. I'm glad I took the break, and that's okay. That's just something that Rory will most likely know now, and he'll know to sort of schedule himself a couple of weeks off from time to time. Everyone needs it to rest and recoup, especially when you do this.
It's not the first time we see this sort of thing either. Well, no. It's the pressure upon people to make YouTube videos consistently and keep that content is really high, so it does create burnout pretty hard.
Oh, it absolutely does. And you've got to think that, much like myself, Rory is working full-time, he has a wife, he has other commitments, a social life, exactly like I do. So, you know, it always comes out of the best of intentions. He wanted to give his subscribers the most amount of content that he could possibly do, which is totally understandable. But, yeah, anyway, he'll be fine. I have no dramas.
Maybe I should be a YouTuber then, because I don't have a social life.
That is true. You're one up on me. You don't have kids. You don't have a social life.
I have my own business though, and that does take it.
You do. That does take a bit of time up. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's enough talk about Rory. He'll be fine. It's all good. Yeah. Let's get back to this livery. Loving what you're doing so far, got to say. A few months back, you mentioned a Spa 3-hour race. I did, Speedy. Also, really thought that Spa might be in the game by now. It's coming. I know it's coming. Silverstone's coming as well this year. So. You heard it here on my channel first. Spa and Silverstone are definitely coming to Gran Turismo throughout the year, and that opens up more endurance opportunities for us. I've only done 1 endurance on GT and I loved it. Really want to do more. Absolutely. So 1.2 is right on the limit. You know, I think in the real world you wouldn't really call that an endurance race, but on a simulator like Gran Turismo, that is verging on endurance.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah. It's really testing the limits of what GDS can do, not so much what we can do.
Exactly. And the other thing is as well, like we've got Project Cars, and I kind of hope that would be a better outlet for endurance races, but there's two problems there. One, a lot of my subscribers don't have project cars, so that's a limitation. That means we're going to have less people available and ready to jump in and do it. The other thing is that on the PlayStation, the lobby size is exactly the same. You're stuck with myself and 15 other people, so...
Yeah, it does make it difficult.
Absolutely. We did get Route X, Mojo, you're right. Hey Conzio, how are you, mate? 24 hours of SSRX. Oh my god. I'd self-harm. Honestly, I'd self-harm.
I'd be done by probably 2 laps.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm done here.
I'd be like, I'm out. Good luck, guys. I'm ending the stream now because I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it. It's my own thing.
Shannon did ask you what the base colour for this car was.
Yep.
It's like a gold by the looks of it, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's like Y2 matte or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
I'll check that once I'm done this section here.
And hey old man as well, if I did I say hi to old man? I can't remember. Anyway, how you going? The Conzio, a Jag livery. Yeah, so getting back to what I was saying before I distracted myself. I haven't done any testing on Gran Turismo at all for Bathurst, so I have no idea what my pace will be. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time at Bathurst over the last couple of days. So hopefully some of that transfers through, but honestly, you know, is it gonna matter? Has anyone seen the quality of the field that I'm racing against? I feel like I'm just going to be there making up numbers anyway, so I'm just going to jump in the Jag because it's a cool car. It looks great. It sounds cool. It's fun to drive. It might not be the meta, but whatever. It looks like, you know, there's a split decision. We were just saying before the stream as well, Ryan, that a lot of people have gone the Nissan, the GTR, and a lot of people are saying that's a crap car. That's not a great car. So many people have gone it, so you know.
I'm one of those people who've gone it, and I'm pretty happy. Just I think my livery just wins. Like whether I win the race or not, my livery will win.
Yeah, fair enough. Unless mine does.
Yeah, and I'm not even biased or anything.
Your livery is actually damn cool. There is no doubt about it. I do enjoy your livery. Hey Zvesky, how are you? What car is the meta? Don't know, Alex. I have not done any testing. In fact, I realised I had to bring my PlayStation back in this. So this room is where I do all my sim racing, right? It's where my steering wheel's set up. Everything's good to go. So if I take my PlayStation out to the lounge room, it's not plugged into the recording device, the wheel, which means I'm not doing any racing, any live streaming off it. And I think it's been out there for nearly 3 weeks now. It's been out there for probably 2.5 weeks, the Sony. So that's some evidence that I've done nothing on Gran Turismo at all. I will do some practice, obviously. I didn't want to do a practice lobby for that tonight. I just wasn't interested. That's not what I wanted to do. But, you know, if nothing else, running the Jag will at least break up what looks to be the Mercedes and GTR Cup, which is seemingly what I've organised here. How dare you say the Nissan's crap? I'm loving it. Nice, Hubie. And you'll be fine at it. I could probably stick you in a GR4 car and you'll still come mid-pack, so you'll be fine.
From what I saw of the iracing race, it seemed that was a bloody AMG Cup.
Yeah, pretty much. There was a lot. I mean, there's less cars to choose from there, but that was the strong car. And since you've got to pay for them, we just kind of had to make the decision and go, let's do that. And I wasn't going to buy 3 cars to test them. It's like,
oh no, but you can test before you buy, but I'm not having that conversation at the moment.
No, that's exactly right.
But yeah, I saw a bit of it, and yeah, there was a lot of AMGs. There was
a huge amount of AMGs. I don't know what I think the top split was slightly more diverse, the top couple of splits, but yes, nonetheless,
well, I mean, even the Redline guys were in Z4s.
Yeah, true. I love the Z4. That was the first GT3 car I bought on iRacing, but that was on an old login that I don't have anymore. But you're in the Mazda, Mojo. That's awesome. Have you done your livery already? I'm trying to think. Discord has been so mental that when I've tried to catch up, there has been so much going on. It's been very bloody hard to catch up. But have you done it? Because if you haven't, I'd love to see an old school retro Mazda livery on it. Mazda has so many great old school 80s liveries, because that's where Mazda were dominant in motorsport, was through the 80s. I'd love to see an old retro one. I can't see one in the Bathurst 2019 chat in Discord, but just a thought for you, Mojo. That'd be a pretty cool thing to see.
No pressure, but I mean, you probably get a penalty if you don't.
Yeah, relegate you to the back. I'll take you out and scratch your livery. Oh, that's not very nice, Kogan.
Well, I'll just make sure that the damage is turned off.
You're the only one in a BMW. Stan, I'm not going to lie to you. I was going to go the M6. That was my choice. And then I realised that I had done last year in the Beamer. And I was like, nah, let's go something different.
Yes, you did.
Squid is running. Squid's running a Z4. There you go.
Did the Snitzer one for you last year?
A old man asked if you need him to send you the Mortal Kombat logo. Said you got the colours pretty close. Who's that? That'd be for Scorpion, wouldn't it? Mazda or Porsche, Nick? Yeah, okay. Willie's not defending his 1.2 hour title. As far as I know, Shannon, and I really don't. I don't believe he's doing it. He didn't sign up for it, so his name is not on the list. Gonna run the Hyundai Speedy tyres. I've heard that's actually not total trash.
Well, he did 202.4 in it last night when he was in the lobby, so...
Well, yeah, it's clearly going along just nicely then.
Yeah.
You have done Livery Mojo, but you're revealing it at the race. Ooh, keeping us in suspense. Well, I hope it's an old... I hope for your sake it's an old retro Mazda livery, otherwise you will be getting a 5-second penalty. AMG, no substitute for 6.3 litres. Yep. What's the saying? There's no... Hang on.
6.2 litres.
6.2. There you go. Thank you for that clarification. There's no replacement for displacement. That's the old saying. CR themed supercar livery. Oh, nice. It's a supercar base livery. Okay. I'm the only Aston in my race. Don't think I'm the only Aston though. I think someone else is using it in race 1. Actually, once I ruled out the BMW, just before the stream, Ryan said, what car are you doing? And I said, what should I do, the Jag or the Aston? And in the end, he kind of said, well, you just did the Aston Cup. And I said, yeah, you're right. Let's go the Jag. Let's get it done. Get over here. Mojo Chaz Rosco special. Yeah. You need help, Kogan. What colour should I make the wheels? They are currently dark grey. What colour's the car?
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a lot of things that go into that, mate.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. No replacement for displacement. Hey, Rory, how are you, mate? Another race at Bathurst, sucker for punishment, eh, buddy? Yeah, this is my second annual one, Rory, so running the 1.2. I've actually got 2 races back-to-back. I'm only doing one, and I'm spectating the other one. I put myself in the hard lobby so that I didn't win and look like I'll be like second last, but... yeah, this is a cool thing that everyone gets to be involved in. The iRacing is a bit more of a selfish thing. It's obviously something that only I can really do with you, obviously. But this is something everyone can get involved with. So I love running these. I'll be running endurance races throughout the year, especially to coincide with the real life endurance races. But I hope you're doing all right, man. I did watch your video. Take a break, chill out. It is all good, and you'll love the live streaming life. That's the life I chose for myself, and you'll love it. I look forward to hopping into some of your live streams when I can, although I usually wake up at 7 AM and your live streams are well and truly over, but nonetheless, time zones are hard, eh? Okay, so Kogan's got a white base with red, similar to Toyota's Panasonic F1 livery, and he's thinking red wheels.
No.
I wouldn't go red wheels.
The red was a nice highlight on that car.
Yep. Hey, Dave, how are you, mate? Oh, actually, Dave, mate, I have an apology to give to you. I'm not going to do it here on stream, but you know what I'm talking about. I will sort that out this week. I promise. It's sitting here ready to go. Apologies to you, Dave. It's coming. You get 2 now because I'm a bad person. Appreciate it, mate.
We already knew that.
Yeah, no worries at all, Rory. Look, we had some good fun at that 12-hour. Probably do some things a little bit different next time, but it was a learning experience. And I tell you what, if anything was going to burn you or any YouTuber out, it was that damn race, because that was hard work, and it's always harder when you have to go through that shit live in front of other people. Trust me, I I know what it's like, and it is definitely harder trying to do it. When everyone's watching you and you're kind of fumbling about going, I wish I didn't do that. Best thing about videos is you can only upload the good shit you do, not the bad stuff. Big round of applause for... Yeah, look, I had fun, personally. It had its moments. I think when I first rolled in the pits after having got towed from popping the engine and it said 41 minutes penalty, I might have dropped the F-bomb. And for that I apologise to any people that had their kids watching. But it's an emotional thing.
I get in trouble for that, mate. Come on.
You do get in trouble for that. I've put a special... so the channel members can use it. Every time Ryan swears, you got to drop them. And I add penalty to his Bathurst time overall. See all the F-bombs in chat? That's what I've done for... That's a special one for Ryan there. It was the engine blowing 17 minutes into the repair. Yeah, that was the funny thing about that, Rory, is it was actually piss funny. I remember sitting there watching it, and you must have been, what, like a minute 20 from taking off again and going. And we all knew that the engine had to blow. It had its moment. Like, it happened to me. The presumption was you'd go there, you'd do 15, 20 laps or whatever, and you'd revved the pisser out of it coming into the pits. And I laughed. I genuinely grabbed my phone, and I was just watching it out in the kitchen. I think that was in the morning stint. I was out having breakfast with the wife and kids. And I turned on, you were sitting there ready to go, and it just popped, and I pissed myself. Shit, that was funny. You got to see the funny side of that, man. But that is, it does break you. As I say, I went through a pretty dark moment when I saw 41 minutes of penalties when I popped the engine. I was like, you know, you've got to be effing kidding me here. It blew at like 6 a.m, yeah. You're watching as well, so don't swear. Exactly, Hubie. We've got to watch out for the underages amongst it. We'll have our revenge on the 1,000 kilometres in a few months' time. Oh, the Bathurst 1000. Geez, I'm going to have to do some practice in those supercars if we're going to do the Bathurst 1000, which is a 6-hour race. For those who don't really understand the depth and breadth of the Bathurst 1000, it's about 6 hours. It's actually just shy of that. It's usually about 5 hours 50, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, it depends on the safety cars and stuff.
Yeah, it's usually just under, which is half the length. I think if we do it in 2-hour stints instead of 3 hours. I mean, I was actually okay. I was petrified going into the last stint because I was so wiped and tired. And I honestly was worried. I was like, if I couldn't get through my first 3-hour stint without... having said that, I only made one decent mistake. It's just that it cost us over an hour in the pits. Endurance racing, it does bite very hard. But I thought, if I can't get through that without screwing the engine up, how am I going to go now? I am so tired. It is 9 o'clock in the morning or 9:30. I'd basically been up, barring a few little naps. And luckily for me, I just got in a rhythm. I didn't worry about my pace. I think I was doing 210s to start with. And by the end, I was sort of doing mid 208s. And that was just perfect. I just smashed them out. And that's what we're going to do next time. But we know that now. We've learnt. We are all the much wiser for it. We do need a highlights vid. Mojo, I am going to do a video. I've actually downloaded it because Twitch only saves it for about a week or two because I'm not a partnered Twitch person. I don't have enough followers on Twitch. And I was so lucky that I restream this stuff because YouTube, and it's done it for everyone. I checked Erie's stream, Rory's stream, I checked Jimmy Broadbent's stream. Oh no, actually, except for him. But I checked a couple others, Ben, TM at Marduk. I checked a few other 24 hours and they all did the same thing. It looks like YouTube only actually has put up just over 11 hours or so of the stream. So I cut the last chunk out. Luckily, it was all on my Twitch. So I downloaded that video because Twitch only saves it for me for, about 2 weeks or so. I'm not going to do a full highlights video because it would just take me... I'd have to take 2 weeks off YouTube to just go through 12 hours of footage and make a video out of it. But what I will do is a recap video. And how they differ is that... That red looks real nice, by the way. I like that. How they differ is a recap video. I'm going to go to the bits I know that happened. So I can grab a couple of... I think Rory had 2 spins in the first session, avoided a massive pile-up on... He just sifted through a huge pile-up at the top of the mountain. So I know that they're there. I should be able to find and grab them easily. Me hitting the wall, the initial engine damage... then me blowing the engine up is the next thing. So those highlights I'll go through and grab, and I'll make a best of video, or not a best of video. What do they call it? A recap video. Fairly short, and it shouldn't take me too long to just go through the footage and cut out the little bits I need. But it would be way too much time to take me to sift through a 12-hour video and actually make a decent highlights package out of it. And hi Piosco, by the way, welcome. It's great to have all the channel members, the VIPs here, as I put up at the start, and they will be at the end as well. Muppet, I was really surprised how much of a survival thing it was. I'm used to it on GT Sport. It's just a totally different kettle of fish. But what I will say is, like, it's easy for me to give some advice now and go, don't worry about your pace, ignore your pace. If you can stay out of the walls and you can keep out of the pits, and not have to deal with those long repair times, then you will do well. And that is true. In our split, the race Rory and I were in, if we could have kept out of the walls and kept out of the pits, we probably would have come like 5th. I'm not even joking. 5th or 6th or something like that. Maybe less. But having said that, the higher the split, the more you do have to focus on pace. And in the top split, they had to focus on both pace and consistency. So down in the bottom tier where we were, you've only really got to focus on consistency, but that is something that would increase depending on what split you were in.
But having said that, though, apparently, because I've been trying to look for some results, but I haven't tried too hard. Apparently, the quality of the driving in that top split was pretty average.
Yeah, and that is something that sounds like it happened throughout all the splits, really. And I have to say, like, I mean, let's pause for a moment and reflect on the fact that Rory and I spent an accumulated, it was actually just under 3 hours, but it was nearly 3 hours we spent in the pits, and we came 22nd out of 55. So that should be a pretty good indication of how piss poor the driving standards were in that race, that we can drop 90 laps from the lead and still finish 22nd.
Yep.
There was some really average driving going on, and that is something that's been reflected, I think, through all the splits as well. Obviously, Max and Lando Norris didn't finish, did they?
Well, that's what I was trying to find out, how they went. But, apparently, yeah, I saw that they were out pretty early.
They were, yeah. Really early. I think Norris did it early in the pace. Amen. Having a car that is intact in the closing stages is a top priority for the next one. And look, as I say, you've just got to look at that last 3 hour stint I did. If we could have done that for 12 hours, we would have got top 5. No doubt about it. I mean, Ben got 4th, Tiamat Marduk got 4th, and even he was, I think, 7 laps down. But they did quite well because they lost the first 5 laps in that incident that happened on lap 1, which seems like it was at no fault of theirs. They just got caught up with it. But there was someone else I was reading on Reddit, and I don't know what split he was in. I think he was slightly higher than us. He actually chose to start in the pits. He just started in pit lane and rolled out at his own leisure. And they ended up, I think he said they ended up 3rd in their split. Literally started from pit lane.
Yeah. So it just shows, and that's sort of the thing that irks me a little bit, you know, like the amount of effort that people actually put in. I mean, you guys obviously were on the back foot already because you were chasing your 4 just before the weekend.
Oh, mate, Friday night. Friday night is when I got up to 4.0 for my my safety rating.
Exactly, and you know, if you ideally what you would have wanted was probably a week of being a 4 at least, so you could just practice on doing some actual laps. All these other people would have had more time to do that. So
absolutely, yep.
That's the thing for me. Like, it just seems that how much effort do you put in to sort of get that little reward? You know,
yeah,
early in the race and you're done.
Well, it's one of those things that It's one of those things. If I hadn't had to have chased it all week, I would have done at least one 3-hour practice session because my stint was going to be 3 hours. So I would want to have done a 3-hour session to prove to myself that I could do it. Also find out how hard it was going to be, and learn a few things about consistency. But I did my first lap of practice on iRacing at Bathurst on the Saturday morning of the race.
Yep.
You had no sound on because you're in another lecture. All right, well, we can say whatever we want about our Brownsy Thunderpants, can't we?
Well, it's kind of detrimental to the experience, given that most of what we're talking about, what we're here for, is the chat.
We're only, I mean, look, watching you make this livery is amazing. Don't get me wrong, and I am actually legitimately into it. But yeah, I think the talking is probably hopefully what everyone's here for. But anyway, Brownie, great to have you along, mate. Not that you can hear me. Starting in the lane, that is bloody smart. It actually is, and if we could go back now, having said that, we were lucky enough because Rory ducked and dodged.
Yeah, that was a bloody top effort across the top at Reed Park.
Really was, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost one of those things like, Rory, for every mistake you made, you kind of made up for it on lap one because we could totally have dropped. Some people I read, again, I think it was on Reddit I was reading it, people that were in our race, there were 2 people involved in that first lap incident that were in the pits straight off from lap 1 for over an hour. Now, that's the kind of thing that would break you very early in a 12-hour race.
For sure. Yeah, that would... you'd just be like, well, I'm done here. I'm not going to continue on with that.
Yeah. Agreed, it was a baptism of fire for sure, but we've learnt now. Yeah, we totally can, Iria. I think we should try... I'm totally keen to try a 24-hour race, and the reason I'm talking about 24-hour is because if you look at the special events for the remainder of the year, there's only a couple of short ones left. There's the Petit Le Mans, which I think is 10 hours out. Is that Road Atlanta they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 10 hour at Road Atlanta. There is... what's another? The Bathurst 1000, which is a 6-hour race, but that's in supercars and going to be hard.
Sebring 12 hour?
And Sebring 12 hour is another of the shorter ones. I think straight up, and I don't know if you agree with me, Rory, but I think we needed at least a third person because we could have all done two-hour stints each with just a third person. But I think 4 would be even better, and it looked like a lot of people ran teams of 4. I think that's a pretty good number for a 12-hour, especially in our circumstance, because if you could have found one person on your side of the world to do it, then you could have done the race start, and you and the other person could have done 2 2-hour stints each, and then you'd be finished. 6 hours into the race, you guys could hang your hat up, you're done. It means I can set the stream to go to sleep until 6 a.m, 6:30 a.m, get up, and then myself, and if I can get another Australian or someone on this side of the world, Oz, New Zealand, whoever, to help me out, then we could have finished the last 6 hours off, and then no one's really pushed too hard or too long. I don't know, but that's something we'll look at. And I think we could do a 24-hour race, but I also think we'd want to have a team of closer to 5 or 6 people for a 24-hour race.
Not necessarily. Because, I mean, if you look at it that way, if you split it up where 2 people do 2 hours, that's 8 hours where you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, but I don't mind that. In a 24-hour race, given that I lost my entire weekend over a 12-hour race, it'd be kind of nice to get all of my running done in 12 hours. And then have the next day to actually be a human being and spend some time with the family and just keep an eye on the race. Do you know what I mean? So it opens up that. Whereas if we tried to run a 24-hour race with 4 people, I'd lose my entire weekend. Yeah,
well, you would, but that's where you'd obviously have to dedicate whether you're going to do that or not.
Yeah.
So obviously I don't have a family or a life, so I'm like, yeah, sweet, no worries.
Hey Oscar, how are you, mate? That was that rage quit stand. I presume that was when we were talking about the over 1 hour in the pits from lap 1. That will break your heart. And I think there was another team that did about 2 more laps once they finally got out, and then totally binned their car and spent the best part of another hour in the pits.
No, wouldn't do it.
You volunteer as a tribute, Kogan? Or on iRacing, you mean? Completely missed the first lap carnage and just passed them as they were in the pits. Pretty much. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily wait until you got lapped, because that's just not going to help your problem. But if you just waited till people were sort of halfway up Mountain Straight, the whole pack was halfway up Mountain Straight, and then you casually took off, hopefully everything's done by then. KLM, dope livery. Hey, Charlie. Thanks, mate. Great to have you along, KLM. I can find someone for sure. 24 hours, I'm down with that also. We just need numbers. We do. And I truly believe, having done the 12-hour, that 4's a good number for 12, but I think we'd want at least 6 for a 24-hour race. Muppet, brilliant drive. Yeah, look, yeah, we got the job done. I don't know if brilliant's the right descriptive word for what we did, but yeah, I'll take it.
Fantastic learning experience.
Exactly. But yeah, I'll take brilliant, and I reckon Rory will take brilliant as well. So thanks, Muppet. Just buy some. Can someone buy me a PC? Yeah, that'd be nice. Are we having 2 races for the Bathurst 1.5 hour? Oscar, it's a 1.2 hour, and we are having 2 races. Yes, I got. I'm happy to say I comfortably got 30 people to sign up. I actually got 33 people because we've got 3 reserves in case people disconnect or can't turn up for whatever reason, which happens. So they'll be back to back. I'm only racing in race 2. Race 1 I'll be spectating. And race 2 is going to be an absolute blinding race. I'm going to bring up the teams now. What's my website? charlierosco.com. Race 2 is going to be insane, and I am not even going to worry about where I finish. I'm just making up numbers. View the entry list. Actually, I might even just flick over to it. I should be able to do that. Don't do anything too important for a second, Ryan.
No, you're right, mate.
Oh, no. It's going to be... Oh, yeah, no, that'll be fun. Transition that, minimize that. There is the entry list you can see for race 1 and race 2. So race 2, I mean, we've got a lot of good people in there. I don't want to single anyone out or make anyone feel bad, but we do have Brownsy Thunderpants. We've got, I think, Wizard's pretty handy. The Conzio's obviously very handy. Hubie's obviously very handy. Speedy Chicken. But there's more than that in there that are good. It's going to be a hell of a tough race. Race 1 should be good as well, though. And I'm hesitant to call it a top seed or anything like that. Transition that back on. Yeah, I don't want to call it a top seed and a second seed or anything like that, because that wasn't how I divided it. If I had divided it properly and actually been picky, I'd have made people qualify and put times in and such. There was still a lot of randomness to how the races were drawn. I used preferences for a lot of the draw. I think a lot of people from the feedback felt our pain and were really with us, which is nice. It absolutely is nice. Yeah, it was a tough thing. I mean, my stream was also a bit lonelier because it was at a time when, you know, obviously the vast majority of my subscribers are Australian, so I had a few in for the final stint, but a lot of that was pretty lonely in the stream as well, so a special thank you to those guys. And there was, I think at its lowest point, it got down to about 10, from what I could see whilst I was sort of off having a snooze, and the comms didn't help. Because there was nothing to listen to either, and we were sitting in the pits for an hour not doing anything. So yeah, those dedicated few that stuck around, I really do appreciate it. But that goes for everyone who hung around in either mine or Rory's stream for a lot of the race. There was a few of you that put a huge effort in, so it does help spur you on.
I would also like to point out that for any of those who were wondering, I showed no play there one only because I was away at a wedding. So.
You were, so unfortunately you're watching it after the fact, but it was at a bitch of a time. It was through the night. Like, most people weren't going to watch that, of my subscribers, so
yeah.
Those of you that did, you hold a special place in my heart. That was a bit touchy-feely, but yeah. Cheers, I can't say that word. Cheers, peoples. Hippie, you watched the whole stream. Rory, and there were quite a few of us. There really was. There was a heap of people on Rory's stream as well. Yeah, all had the feels. It does hurt, and you saw some emotion from both of us. There's no doubt about that. I don't think that's something either Rory or I would shy away from. Plenty of emotion in the race, but that's endurance racing. And I can tell you the relief that washed through me towards the end of my final stint. You probably heard it in my voice, but there were times when I was like, man, I couldn't be happier to finish this race out, especially given that it was like problem-free. My last 3-hour stint was just spot on. Oz Farmer, you were there for the light. You were, because you're, of course, working the night shift on the tractor out on the farm. Had nothing better to watch in the tractor. I'm sure you did. I do appreciate it, Oz Farmer. I was in and out of the stream. You were. And there was heaps of people that were in and out of the stream, so that was awesome. And you heard the F-bomb. Oh, sorry about that. Reminded you of Todd Kelly's F-bomb in Queensland Raceway. I don't think there's ever been a better F-bomb than Todd Kelly's at Ipswich. That was a cracker. That was absolutely beautiful. But it's just one of those moments. It's deep into the evening. I was gutted. I was gutted at myself because it was I think you can do 32 laps on a full tank of fuel. I'd gotten through 30 of them. I think I had to finish that lap, do one more complete lap, and then I was pitting. I was so close to the end, and the car just kind of got a little bit, sideways, and it was an odd one. It doesn't feel like the back end steps out. It feels like all 4 wheels drift at the same time. And it didn't matter and I tried to be super gentle on the steering and just fight it back, and it just had no interest. And the funny thing was, I'd washed a lot of pace off by then, and actually went nose first into the wall. And when I first hit, I didn't bounce off it, I didn't rip a wheel off it, and I was like, oh my god, I think I got away with this. I think I've actually, I probably smashed the front of the car up, but I actually don't think I've damaged the car much. And then as soon as I reversed and the plume of smoke came out the bonnet, I was like, oh no, I'm in strife here. I was gutted at myself. So that was the mood coming into it, and then when the engine popped, I could see the funny side in that momentarily until I saw the 41 minutes of repair time. And that's when the F-bomb came out. It slipped out. So apologies to those watching with the kids and whatever else. But I couldn't help it. Could have been more than an F-bomb, CBT bombs, and then just nuke it with an F-bomb. Yeah, there's a lot of choice words. I did filter after that one slipped out, but it is hard. Hey, David Eastwood, how are you, mate?
Just quickly, what are you thinking of that? I don't like it.
I actually agree with you. I like the red at the bottom, though.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
I was waiting to see where that went, but it just didn't. Sorry.
Yeah, it was an idea in my head that I thought might work better than that, but as soon as I'd done it, I was like, oh, that's like crap.
Oh my god, I can't believe this song just came on. This song's more embarrassing than anything else. Way back in my school days, I downloaded a program. Where you could make your own songs. And I made this song. It's so terrible. I don't even know how my random music picker has just selected this song. No copyright on it, but it is truly horrendous.
Yeah, give yourself a copyright.
Yeah, copyright struck myself. You corrected it really nice. Sadly, the car just, yeah. I tried, Hubie, I tried so hard to collect that car. I didn't breathe for a second. I agree, Oz Farmer, it was a pathetic crash. Like, the amount of crashes I saw, people smashing into walls and shit. And, Erie had an absolute beauty. And it was like 17 minutes in the pits, and I've just had that, and it cost us over an hour. So I was pretty gutted at myself more than anything. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to have to find some other music, because this is really bad. To be fair though, this is about 20 years ago I made this song, or longer. Listen to how bad this is. Oh, that is so bad. I'm sorry, I'm gonna skip song now. This isn't the coolest music ever, but it's copyright free, so...
Is that what you made, was it?
What's that?
What you were just talking about?
No, what I was talking about is a total dumpster fire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because obviously I've got the stream on mute, so I can't hear that.
You can't, no, obviously. I can't believe of all the songs that picked that one out. At least it didn't grab one of my recorded commentaries. That would have been way more awkward.
That would have been.
Because it could have grabbed anything at that point. So yeah, I know this isn't the best music, but it's copyright free. I could just whack copyright music on. I mean, shit. What am I going to make out of this if I don't have it copyrighted? Not very much. You should dub Brownsy singing Over the Moon over the top of your tune. I would love to do a collab with Brownsy with Thunderpants in a lyrical masterpiece. That would be amazing.
It'd be something.
The music sounds like I should have a white glove and glow stick. Oh no, this music, this is not mine now. It was just that, what was it called? I can't remember what I called that song. Embarrassment. This is fat shit, yo. That's what I... Oh, there's my other one. I'm going to do it. You guys are not going to enjoy this, but let me put on the other song I made back in the day. And it sounds like some idiot in school made this as well. It's so bad.
Some idiot in school did it.
And I called this Walk Through Ein Hood.
Are you ready?
God, it's so bad. Aces GR3, Luke Summers it is. Sorry about the music to anyone that's new here. I should probably factor you guys in before I start playing this dumpster fire.
There's a disclaimer.
Yeah, this is not usual on my channel.
We've ended up in some sort of weird throwback Tuesday, and you've managed to land on it.
My music player has just picked out 2 songs I made in school, which was a long time ago because I'm an old bastard.
Yeah.
Music Maker? No, it was pre-Music Maker. I can't even remember what the program was called. Like Hip Hop DJ or some shit like that. You don't get quality like this anywhere else on the web. Thank God for that, Squid. Thank God you don't either. In your opinion, what GR3 car do you think is the fastest around Bathurst? Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying the Mercedes and suggesting the Mercedes is probably one of the better ones at Bratwurst. But what do you reckon, guys? Throw your opinions in the chat now. I've said the Merc. I'm going to be using the Jag. I know it's not the quickest, but it's a cool car.
What annoys me, and it came up a little bit in the Discord, was the fact that you just can't use any of the MR cars.
No, around Bathurst, the MR cars are just awful. They're just unbalanced and yeah.
Well, I did because I was really set on doing it in the Ferrari. So yeah, I'd done a lot of laps in the Ferrari.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and it was literally like it was just as strong as anything else everywhere, except for at the dipper. You get to the dipper and that's it. You're gone.
Yeah, those unweighted corners, but Forest Elbow is not that great in them either.
Oh, I never really had that sort of problem with Forest Elbow. But yeah, just once you go to the dipper.
Ring Driver said some genuine filth entering my ear right now. And you're right, this is so bad. I liked the R8 until I got to the downhill. Yeah, there's a few cars that are great across the top of the mountain. The thing about Bathurst is some people squarely focus on their pace over the top of the mountain. And the reality is if you're slow as an old bloody slow thing, how's that for a good simile? If you're as slow as an old slow thing up and down the 2 straights, you're going to have a bad day. Doesn't matter if you are the quickest in the world over the top of the mountain.
But if you spin every second lap at the S's, you're gonna have a bad day. It doesn't matter if you've got the fastest car in the world down there.
Correct. You need a good balance, and that's kind of one of the reasons I chose the Jag. You need something that is good through the corners, but is also competent down the straights. And thank you very much for the sub there. I missed who that was on OBS. I'm going to have to wait until it comes up on the stream.
Sim racing system.
Oh, I'm not live. There we go. Welcome, Sim Racing System. I wasn't even watching my own stream live.
His own stream.
Right. You'll be glad to know that that horrendous music that I made 20 years ago at school is now over. I never went on to be a music producer, and I don't think I need to explain to you why. Hello, Sim Racing System. Welcome, and thank you very much for your subscription, sir. Hopefully you enjoy this stream and all the others I have on my channel.
I hope that you aren't here for that music. Like, there won't be more.
I hope he hasn't clicked on this stream and gone, oh, I like this tune. This is catchy. Because you will never hear that again. I vow. Is that the music that got you Mrs. Rosco? No ways, Vesky. If she heard that first, she would have run. What got Mrs. Rosco was a motorbike. And my dashing good looks, obviously. And charming personality.
All things are just subjective.
Well, she liked him, mate.
Well, that's all that matters. She's the only one that had to.
Hubie going with the Jag or the GTR. Hubie, you've changed your mind more times
at least 12 times.
I've changed my underpants. Oh, to be 15 again.
That annoys me.
What annoys you?
The way that this doesn't match up.
Yeah, you'd think it would, wouldn't you? Sugumi, you're going the RCZ GR3 or WX? Oh, you're asking the RCZ GR3 or WX GR3. I would instinctively probably go for neither. But there you go. Luke has answered. WRX is a bit quicker. Fair enough. TG Babes, how are you, mate? Great to have you along. I am enjoying, otherwise I wouldn't be contacting you. Fair enough. Fair enough, Sim Racing System. WRX GR3 is just, no, not after its power decrease. It got nerfed into the ground. It's not a great car, neither of them are. Oh, you ride a motorbike? Won't be needing these then. Exactly, Shannon. And by these, you mean her undies. Knickers. Sorry, boys wear undies, girls wear knickers. Oh, share play stops in 5 minutes.
I feel like underachieving for an hour's work.
Yeah, that's right. You got 1 hour to bring the bacon home. What's that, Speedy Chicken? Not really. I'm going to use it for fun. What are you using? Where was your last comment, Speedy Chicken? There you go. No, yeah, GR3. 2.6k subs now. Yeah, I'm over that, man. I'm like 2624 or something. I'm really moving up in the world. Look out. There may be a point where I'm in fact the 6th best off-peak YouTube channel in Tasmania, but I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. Yeah. Do you follow the V8 supercars, Luke? Yes, certainly do. It's still decent though, says Luca. That car is the furthest thing from definition of OP. Hey Chris Redbeard, how are you, mate? Underachieving is still achieving. He's got you there. He's got you by the balls there, big fella.
Yeah, well, everyone's standards are different.
Chook, you're using the RCZ as well. Have fun with that little abortion. Tassie has 6 streams. Oz Farmer. Mate, that's a totally made up number. I've got no idea how many people out of Tasmania stream. There's a few Twitch people, because there is a Twitch. I mean, there is no way on earth anyone could ever find out the top Tasmanian YouTube streamers. And off-peak, I mean, what even is off-peak? That's more so a reference to the fact that I live stream when most Europeans are not live streaming. Or yeah, Americans, for that matter. RCZ is Yeetle. You'll be yeeting all day in it. Brownsy. Toyota Supra for GT Sport. I mean, it's had its ups and downs. This song has the Metal Gear Solid codec. It does. It actually does, Shannon. You're right. Gotta go, Hubie. No worries, dude. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it, dude. Have a good day. Hope everyone is enjoying a few beers after work before. I am, but mine's empty. This share play runs out in 3 minutes, so when I refresh that, I'm also going to go and get myself another crisp beverage to crack for you into the microphone, because I know you love it. I wouldn't think there was 6. There's actually, believe it or not, Oz Farmer, there's a whole Twitch page dedicated to, it's like Tassie Twitch streamers or some shit like that. I'm obviously not part of that because I'm not cool enough, and I'm mainly on YouTube, but I am on Twitch as well. To be fair, this is all restreamed on Twitch all the time. Well, there you go, Mojo. There's a vote of confidence from the Chook. GR3 at Tensor is also quite nice at Bathurst. You were taking the piss. Oh no, I definitely know that, Ozfarm. I absolutely guarantee. Trust me, the whole statement of mine is taking the piss. The Yeetle. Can't believe someone picked the Yeetle. I got to test it first. Testing. Pfft. What is testing? Just going dry like I am. Love the sound of a cold beer being cracked open. Absolutely. Just about to do some 1.2 hour practice. Oh, well, don't do that yet, Shannon. Stick around for the stream, won't you? No, good luck, man. Thunder's going to see you out behind the lockers for lunch. Oof. The Mazda is good. Yeah. There's something about the Mazda I don't like. I don't know what it is. I don't like the engine sound. It doesn't feel right to use, and I don't love it. I've tried to love it. I'll be honest, he's taller than Mister and could probably beat me up. Yeetle is very good. Yeetle is OP on tyres, Luke. You're dead right there. We've only got a minute left, by the way. Big dub. Yep. So
that's all right. These things will happen.
I love the speed at which you're duplicating this, though.
Oh, I've done it some times before.
It tickles me in that special way that you know I like. That is actually starting to look pretty sick, I've got to say. I am loving what I'm seeing so far. Are you old enough to crack a cold one? Who's that? Hubie's not.
I was going to say, surely he's not talking to us.
TG Babe. Oh, you're about my age. Cold lemonade. Yep, absolutely. Lemon squash, I think I said, didn't I? I've stolen that anyway. I should call it something else. That's what they call it on... Well, there we go. It's over. I will await you to re-begin your share play. Love driving the Yeetle. I can't stop lolling about the name. Absolutely. Thank you, Ryan. Love good lemonade. Worries. Absolutely. You thought who was 15? Who do you think was 15? Chook? Who, TJ? Was your birthday when I raced 2 of our finishes? Oh, I saw that, TJ. Yeah, how was your birthday, man? Actually, Yeedley's OP on tyres. Yeah, the trade-off is you look like a tool, though. That is true.
Love it.
That is probably one of the most true statements that's ever been made on any of my streams. You do look like a complete tool driving it. Imagine pulling up to an actual GT3 race if that car really existed. You turn up in a Beetle, people would be like, couldn't afford a real GT3 car, mate. You had to borrow the wife, did you? So that's how Ryan does the liveries.
Who said that?
Yeah, yeah. That's probably a bit non-PC, isn't it?
What's that?
That's how Ryan does the liveries on your profile. It is. He's not doing them on my profile, Shannon.
No.
This is all through his. We're just watching Ryan do it, which is cool. I was going to do my own, but Ryan was kind enough to offer up his services, and he is a hell of a lot better at this than I am, which is a surprise to nobody. Charlie is 50. I am not 50, Harry. You take that back, excuse me, or I will have to get Nightbot to time you out, sir.
I mean, even as just listening to your voice, you sound good for 50, but seeing as I've seen you in person, you look good for 50.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. I feel good. I feel good for 50. No, my voice does sound like I'm about 16. I hate my voice, but anyway. You get used to listening to it when you edit your own videos after a while. Spend the day between gaming and sleeping. It was worth it. Nice. You can't ask for any more than that on your birthday. Normally mine are just jam-packed with family shit. That actually kind of sounds like a dream. Not going to lie to you. I would enjoy that thoroughly. After watching your 250 livery stream, he couldn't take another one. Yeah. Yeah, I am pretty hard to watch. And like I said before the stream, I was like, so am I doing this livery or are you? And Ryan's sort of like, oh, I don't mind doing it. And I was like, good, because I can't even remember how to do a livery. I'm going to have to relearn, and I'm just going to frustrate the shit out of everyone. And look how sick Ryan's livery is. That looks effing badass, man. That looks so cool.
I know how to make that look better.
That front end of that is fantastic. Oh, that is sexy. Fastest car in the game is obviously the McLaren 650S.
Debatable.
Top speed? Question mark. Lucky he not here to see that. Who's not here to see that? Luke made it funny. He did make it funny.
Right.
The stream was hilarious. I'm going to leave you with Ryan for a second because I need to go and get another beer. My mouth is getting dry. I need a tasty beverage. I'll be back.
Tasty beverage. Yeah, don't worry, Harry. I'm looking at that myself. I mean, the outside bit, yes, but that center bit, I'm a bit. It's exactly what I was just looking at before when we were looking at the front. Everyone's looking at the whole thing. I'm just looking at that center bit, and I'm just like, nah. Just trying to work out how to make it work though, because I wanted to do a straight line down the center, but because of the way that bonnet goes, go hide. You can see there is that distinct line down there. So if you had like a straight line, it would just look a bit weird for me anyway. So not 100% sure. Maybe I just won't even put anything on there. I might just leave it like that and stick a logo on there or something.
So what did you change?
Took the center off the bonnet. Because whilst you were looking at the total picture there, I was like, yeah, but nah, it just didn't do it for me.
That front end looks so sick. I love that. That is cool. Now, what did I miss in the chat? People still boning up the Beetle. Come on, man.
Move on, man. Move on.
Colours the outline of the centre bump thing black. That was Speedy Chicken's question mark.
Colour the outline of the centre bump in black.
On the bonnet, I presume he's talking about.
What?
Harry said drop the centre and make 2 lines.
Yeah, I was explaining that I don't like that because it to have 2 straight lines looks weird because there's quite a distinct bump, like quite a distinct sort of what do you call it? Anyway.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's great.
Yeah.
Luca, I see that there. Charlie's gone post technical difficulties. No. Don't try and F with me. Trickid, welcome to the stream, by the way. What GR3 car would you recommend? For which track, sir? Luke has recommended you Supra without knowing the answer to that question, or the Merc. Depends what track you're on. Some cars are awesome at some tracks and total rubbish on the others. If you're looking for a good all-round car, bit biased here, but I think the Jag's a good option. The Mercedes is actually legitimately a good option. TG's going to yeetle together. Don't yeetle. Let's not get too many yeetles. I could end up in the... No, let's not over-yeetle this race. Ring Driver saying that he feels like Speedy meant to outline the bulge on the bonnet. Don't complain if you get bullied, though. Yeah, you're kind of a target, I think, if you're in the Yeetle. You've never raced the Jag? It's not bad. There was a time, Luke, when this car was total trash tier. It was heavy and fat and slow, and I tried the Jag way back in the day and hated it. But it's had some patches. It's seen some love, and it's not a bad little car now. Find the message I tagged Ryan in. From TG Babe. Where did you tag Ryan? Where do you get your inspiration? Where do you get the inspiration, Ryan?
Inspiration for...
Deliveries, I presume he means.
For this livery?
Or liveries in general. Let's start with a generalised question, and we can go more granular after that.
Really, usually coming up with original ideas for this sort of a thing is difficult. It's actually quite difficult to do.
Could we do it on the fly a bit, surely?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, coming up with something completely bare with not really much in mind, especially when you throw a curveball at me, like, don't use normal colours, change everything.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. I better give that disclaimer again soon too, because there's a whole bunch of new people watching.
So things like that make it difficult as well. But you know, you still work within you. It's not that much of a problem. But yeah, so taking from that, it makes it hard because you've got to sort of come everything new. Whereas if you work with like a race team, they basically come to you and they're like, we want this car with these colours, these sponsors, these things all need to be that, and it's quite structured. So there's only so many things you can do. I need to make this bigger so I can see it. Which definitely makes it easier because there's less sort of you actually need to put into it. But that also makes it harder because then you're much more restricted on what you can and can't do. So that does also make it a bit difficult. When I come up with a new livery though, something like this, or when I did my Nissan GTR, I literally just looked at it, and the best thing to do is to put a matte colour on a car and basically just go back, look around and look at the lines and the way that the car works, because if you can, like, there's no point in putting straight edges and stuff on this kind of a car because everything is quite rounded. Whereas if you look at like the Audi R8, everything is very, very straight. So you could easily just put down all the straight angles and everything, and that looks quite good. But it makes it really hard, like, because different people like different things. I'm pretty outspoken in that most of the art cars that everybody loves, I actually don't like at all. If you look at, I'm not a fan of Martini cars. I don't like the JPS cars. All that sort of stuff, I don't like it. But that's my thing though. So,
Charlie, can you show your Bathurst GR3 lap times, please? No. And the reason for that, Luke, is I have done no practice yet at all. Plus re-engine in that Bathurst. So that's
the question.
Just a hard no. He would like me to show him my Bathurst GR3 lap times. I mean, you could go back to last year's Bathurst 1.2 or the Bathurst 250. What is that? What I called that race? Let me have a look on my website.
Sure.
Since I have it open. It was called the Bathurst 250 or whatever I call it. So 6 months down the track. Have not obviously made that decision yet. And that was on racing mediums as well. Don't forget everything we're discussing here. If you're not aware of what the Bathurst 1.2 hour is, racing mediums is the softest compound you can get. So bear that in mind when you see people talking about 202s and such. None of these are on soft or super soft tyres. These are all on
Yeah, these people are actually just alien.
Yeah, they're actually just freaks. Boo, BMW art cars are art gorgeous things. Jules,
Nope.
I think I don't agree with all that much that Ryan says, but I actually totally agree with his take on the BMW art cars.
It's not even just art cars. Like a lot of that sort of stuff I don't like. But the main thing is anything that is visual or anything like that is subjective. Literally, whatever my opinion in, it does not matter because yours is going to be different. And that's the good thing about the world.
Do you know where and when the Renault F1 car, why did they call it Renault F1 car is being revealed? Is it being streamed? All good questions, Trickett. I don't have the answers. Maybe Luca will.
I'd say Google's probably got a good answer.
The Fast Boys are doing 202s on mediums. They are, Shannon, and that is quick for mediums. Hey, Waffle Slime MC. It's going very well, sir. How are you? Lifting a lot across the top of the mountain on mediums, yeah. It's going to be hard to hold that flat. Speedy Chicken, you're doing 210s. You're going to have a great time. You're not doing 210s. If you do 210s, even I'm going to totally shit on you, and I'm not going to go that well. I am going to do some practice this week. As I said, I did do the Bathurst 12-hour on the weekend on iracing, and I just don't believe that the pace is going to transfer across. Yeah, you should definitely join the Discord. Anyone who's not on the Discord, we have good chats like this all through the week in between streams. And that's where you'll find out information. We have all kinds of stuff on the Discord. We have general chat, like in real life motorsports chat, TV and music, events. You name it, it's on there. Get across, like my Discord now.
If you like this Discord within the next 10 minutes, there is free steak knives. Disclaimer, no steak knives. 14's the number, yeah?
Yeah, mate.
Thought so.
Oh, if you're still here, Sim Racing Systems, Enrique, if I've said that right, I can't fully read that and process it at the moment, but I will get back to you. I will get back to you after the stream. I'll have a read of that if you're still here. Miko Ballas, IRL Motorsports is just past at this point. Mako, even, is just past her. Who do you follow in the supercars? Look, I'm actually a Shane Van Gisbergen fan. Now, I know that is becoming less and less of a popular option, especially since he joined Red Bull. But I just like the cut of the guy's jib. He's a very, very talented racer, and he just lives and breathes motorsport. If he is not racing in the supercars, he will race in anything. He'll go and do a local drift event in New Zealand. He doesn't care. He just loves it.
The main thing is if he's allowed.
If he's allowed. He just loves motorsport. He just lives and breathes it. You can tell that's all he wants to do. He just wants to get out there and race a car and do some fun stuff. And I just love his attitude. So subsequently, he got my vote back when he was in...
Techno.
What was the car before the Sticks car, though?
VIP Perfects.
That's what it was, the VIP Perfects.
Still Techno.
Oh, it is still Techno, yeah, but it was the VIP. That was the moment, because I've only really been following the supercar since like 2014.
Yeah.
I sort of casually followed it in 2013. I didn't grow up with it, to be honest. My dad didn't really like it. He just watched F1 and MotoGP. I've always been it was 500cc, but I've always been a fan of motorbike racing. I've always watched Formula 1, but I've only really got into other forms of car racing in the last probably 5 or 6 years or so. And I think it was that Bathurst race, the Bathurst 1000 of 2014, that's the one where Jamie Whincup ran out of fuel, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
That was still, to this day, of all the motorsport I've ever watched, that is still one of the most amazing motorsport events I've ever witnessed. Absolutely loved it, and that got me hooked. I watched it start to finish, never missed a lap. That was the one where there was a break halfway through the race because the track tore up. They'd resurfaced part of it, and they had to actually go and fix the track. But the racing was insane. And I was following Shane Van Gisbergen. He actually looked like he was going to come through and win the race, and then he stalled it coming out of the pits. It was just phenomenal. If you've never watched 2014 Bathurst 1000, find it somehow and watch it. Don't skimp out. Watch it start to finish. It is just an amazing piece of motorsport history. And it got me hooked on supercars. Go on, Luke, yourself Nightbot. Black screen? Where was the black screen? Really? Was there a black screen? Shane can drive. Bloody oath he can drive. So yeah, I'm a fan. I know he's not that popular, or he's losing popularity since he's been in Red Bull, especially the Ford guys. They'll all default hate him.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're in a Holden, but it's not sort of the factory Holden, people don't seem to care as much. But anyway, SP Tools, oh that's real old. That's actually where Geezy started though, isn't it? In the SP Tools car.
Early days.
But that was pre me being a supercars fan.
Yeah.
Lucas said, Ryan, you can duplicate and then replace decals so that the new ones keep the same proportions.
What?
Speedy, you've never watched a race ever in real life. What, any race? You've never watched a motorsport event. You're just a waste of talent. You should be right into motorsport, man. You've got the talent in the sim races. Anyone here actually driven the Bathurst track? Well, you have, Ryan, haven't you?
I have.
Yep.
At about 60 kilometres an hour.
Yeah. And I was going to say Willie has in a Winnebago.
Because it is actually... it's a public street. You can drive it any time through the year.
Luke's driven it at 20 kph.
Yep, that'll do it. I mean, I did it on a bike once, and that was scary going down from Skyline.
I reckon, on a push bike.
Yeah.
Never watched an in real life race either, Harry. Just enjoy simulators. That's fine. That's totally cool. I have nothing against anyone. I don't really care what you're into. You're obviously into racing, racing simulators, and that's cool. I highly recommend doing a hot lap in a supercar if you have the money. I did. Take a spare pair of jocks. It'd be amazing. All those hours in the simulator, I'd love to hit Bathurst in a genuine car, in a proper car at full speeds.
Yeah, except they don't do it.
What? Who doesn't do it?
They rarely ever do hot laps at Bathurst.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard gig to get. Watch the speed camera, G-Rex, exactly. No, he was in Team Kiwi Racing, replaced Paul Radicic.
Yeah, that was the initial. Okay. SBR was after that.
Again, this is all pre my interest in. Well, he was in the VIP Pet Foods car. That was when I kind of got a little bit more into supercars racing, and that was when I was like, I really need a driver, and I'm not just going to go to default Lowndes, even though everyone likes Lowndes, and I still like Lowndes. I needed to pick my own driver, and he just impressed me with his overall. Just everything about him and how much he's madly into motorsport. And I thought I can relate to that. You just seem like a guy who wants to race anything, anytime. So you get my vote. I like Scotty Mack as well. I like Chaz Mostert. He's growing on me like syphilis. Chaz. Yeah, he really is.
I like him because he'll get out there and do the other racing. Yeah. That for me. And that's where Shane grew on me as well, because he got out and was doing the other international stuff.
Yeah, and he's even doing sim racing, which for us guys, that has to buy him some more credit points, Shane Van Gisbergen, and the fact that he's doing sim racing.
Well, sure. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is like if you look at Shane Van Gisbergen, the year that he won the supercars was the year that he also won Blancpain, and he did like Carrera Cup Pro-Ams and like all these other racing.
Who's that, Shane?
Yeah. And you're just like, so good, but then he was stopped. He wasn't allowed to race all that sort of time anymore, and now he's sort of, you can see it in his ability. He's not as on as he always was.
No. They have sucked the life out of him a little bit, the Red Bull, haven't they?
Yeah.
Ozfarmer has corrected you here. You can book it. You book them straight off the website as a passenger, of course.
Yeah, so that's always way. I think you can. From my memory, last few years, I think 2012, 13, 14. After the 12-hour, they did. You could actually drive it, but it wasn't in an actual supercar. It's one of those lookalike sort of, 400 horsepower engine things. But But yeah, they don't do like promo rides and stuff like they normally do.
G-Rex is into Reynolds, and I have to say, he's probably one of the best qualifiers on the grid.
No. Reynolds has got a bit of go about him, but I wouldn't go as far as saying he's one of the best qualifiers on the grid.
I would say over one lap, very few people can put it together like that man can. Scotty Mac can. Yeah, Scotty Mac can. But I still think he's one of the best qualifiers on the grid for one lap. I don't think he's got the overall race package. But I do think he can put together a lap exceptionally well. Speedy Chicken only started driving in real life last year.
Huh?
Speedy Chicken only started driving in real life last year.
Right. True story. The last time that Davey Reynolds had an opportunity to win the championship, Shane Van Gisbergen sort of had a play in that not happening.
Yeah, he did. The Renault presentation is live in 20 minutes, but I don't know where. Well, that is 50% of good information, Luca.
It's a job for Google, that's for sure.
Yeah, Speedy Chook, how old are you? 25. Shit, man. That's cool, though. I'd imagine the Renault's going to look much like it did last year. I'm not expecting any large changes from it.
No.
Brownie's only been driving for a year as well, but Brownie, you're only like 17, aren't you? Speedy, in that case, I'll not be giving you a hard time. Oh, good. Scotty Mac for quality. He's a very good qualifier, for sure. I'm not taking anything away from Scotty Mac. And I do like Scotty Mac. I have to say, Gizzy, Scott McLaughlin, and Chaz Mostert are probably my three main men. Which is actually two Fords and a Holden, isn't it? Never thought about that. I don't really follow brands, for those wondering.
Nah.
I'm not a brand-based guy.
Especially not in this racing.
No, they're all the same, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Homologated chassis and brakes and everything else. Even the engines are homologated, despite the fact they come from different manufacturers. Lots of componentry that you're restricted to.
Yeah.
Never had anyone teach you, Speedy. Man, I'd have taught you.
Yeah, come down to Tassie. It's a good place.
It does explain your lack of experience on a wheel, TJ. You're right. Yeah, Speedy Chicken, he's on a controller. And he's bloody quick on one too.
Would you prefer that? Because I've done this deliberately so that it's sort of skewed like that.
So that obviously it looks right from the front.
It looks better like from these sort of angles. Do you want it properly circle and right? Or do you want it like that?
I get what you're doing there, but I think that needs to be right. I think the very small amount of OCD, and I don't have OCD because I know that's a real thing, but like the little bit of that I might have in me says that it has to be right. Unless it looks super funny from other angles.
No, I can't imagine it will.
Yeah, I had my L's at 15 years and 10 months. Was that the earliest you could get it? 15 years and 10 months, I think I got my learner's license.
Like that.
Brownie is a university student who is 7. Yes, correct. Thank you for clearing that up. Shane has the best handling in the competition. Rain proves that every time. I agree, Oz Farmer. I think he's the best. But I'm biased, obviously. As I said, he's my main man. Some say he was born in a leap year and he has 10 toes on 1 foot. You've had your license for 2 years and you're garbage on a wheel, Luca. Jules, the day I was old enough to reach the pedals I was driving. Yeah, I reckon my daughters will be driving pretty early on.
3 years? 4 years?
Well, they're 3 now, so...
We'll I mean, 3 years from now.
Yeah, something like that. But I've got to say... Ryan, I haven't been talking about this livery much, but I am impressed. I'll give the disclaimer again now because there's a bunch of people watching that weren't here at the start, I'd imagine. I did ask Ryan to kind of rush a little bit in this livery. So obviously Ryan does do real race car liveries for actual teams and get paid for it, which I guess makes you a professional, doesn't it, by definition? So I have asked him to rush. So if you're sort of thinking this is not up to his usual scratch, which I'd actually almost disagree with, this is looking pretty sick. I've got to say, I like it. But yes, blame me. Don't blame Ryan. I pressured him into this. Oz Farmer, oh, he is Tasmanian, is he? Thought he was a Kiwi. Who? Shane Van Gisbergen, he's definitely a Kiwi.
He's definitely a Kiwi, yeah.
So the only time he's been in Tasmania, I'd imagine, is for the supercars.
Yeah, exactly.
Your go is Rick Kelly, but his performances have been disappointing.
Oh,
that's an understatement.
I mean, he was good in about 2006, and probably nothing.
I'd agree with that. Nick loves the livery. Good. I'm glad it's not just me. Actually, I really like this livery. This looks cool. I can't wait to race in it.
Something different.
Got your license 2 days later. Got an old 85 Sigma station wagon that you had to have a brick behind the wheel as the handbrake didn't work. That is
right.
That is even too agricultural for Oz Farmer, and he is the definition of agricultural. I mean, he watched
100%.
Yeah, he watched the Bathurst live stream from his tractor overnight. If that's not agriculture, then I don't know what is.
It's good.
Love
Good,
the
I like
Sigma.
it.
It builds character for both the driver and the car, I think.
I mean, we're certainly getting somewhere.
Yeah. It's looking pretty good. I mean, what else have you got to do? Run us through. How long's your stream going for? Oh, we're doing all right at this point.
We're doing all right. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty well.
Sort of said I was aiming for a 2-hour sort of stream, but you are smashing through it.
Yeah, so I've still got another 20 minutes, and I'm just really putting in finer details.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you finish, you finish. Don't go stupid.
There you go. I'll throw a bit of Alpine size in there because I know you're a fan.
Stafford, the first car you owned was an HZ GTS Monaro. Man, that's not a bad first car. That is actually quite a nice first car.
What's that?
A HZ GTS Monaro.
Oh, yep, that'll get you done.
Not a bad one. Yeah, stands in Taz. And there is at least 2 other of my subscribers, not necessarily in the chat now, but they have spoken to me during the stream and said, hey, I'm from Taz too. Is it Jason C? I can't remember. But there is at least 2 other people in Tassie. They know. They know that I'm the 7th best off-peak YouTuber in Tasmania, and they followed accordingly. Brick behind the wheel is a huge innovation in the agricultural world, isn't it? I actually learned to drive in a Troopy. In an old Troopy, which was it 4 on the tree or 3 on the tree?
79 series. This is the V8.
Oh, you cut out there. What'd you say? Oh, maybe we've lost Ryan. We've still got him on the PlayStation. Yeah, he is cut out totally. Maybe he accidentally hit mute on his mic. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're back. Hello, welcome.
I couldn't hear you for all that time, so I don't know what's going on there.
It certainly wasn't a 79 series.
No?
Troopy.
They only come... Right.
Nah, it was a 1979 Troopy. Would have been around about that era. I don't know what the vintage was, but it was a full Troopy with the bench seats in the back. And I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 on the tree. It's too long ago now.
Something like that.
That might have only been 3. No, I think they were 4 on the tree. But the skills came in handy. You might think, well, when would you have ever driven another car that was column shift? And I know the Yanks do it all the time with their autos, but this is a manual column shift. And I actually did. In the end, my old man bought a Holden Rodeo Ute, which had 4 on the tree. So that was a good old bus. Got your license now, 35, started with the Beetle. Das Auto. It went into a fence. Oh, Jules, that's no good.
Yeah. That's our story.
I had to park it outside my school on a hill, and yes, one of my mates did move the brick, and I went into a fence. Good job. G'day from near Darwin. Tuka? Is that how I say that? Hello from... You're about as far up in this country as you can go. And I'm about as far south, and Staniel is basically as far south as you'll go, so it's great to have you along from wherever near Darwin is.
Just gotta put some gratuitous promotion in here instead.
Why not? Uh-oh, Ryan. Someone's giving a thumbs down. They don't like your livery. I find that hard to believe.
It's alright.
I think they'll be disliking me and the sound of my voice more than Ryan's livery.
At the end of the day, it's probably just jealousy anyway.
That's a great attitude to have, Ryan. But, I do appreciate those of you who have left a like. And even the person who left a dislike. They still had to take time out of their day to come in here, listen to a bit of stream and go, nah, I don't like the cut of that guy's jib or the livery. I'm going to give a dislike. So that takes time and effort. And I appreciate everyone leaving a rating that has. You still have the 12-hour description in the video. Oh, shit.
Come on.
Fixing it now. Preparing
I think we're pretty much done.
a livery for the upcoming 1.2 hour race on Sunday. Is it the 17th? It is the 17th, I said, isn't it?
Something like
Let me confirm. Yes. Sunday the 17th. There you go. If you hold on, they're being saved. If you refresh your page now, it'll be saved. Oh, they're not technical difficulties, Speedy. You're getting carried away now. People are starting to cheer for technical difficulties. They want to see them. I gave a thumbs up despite my comment. Thanks, Dom. And he loves the livery by the looks of it. Alex K suggested that you add a petrol sponsor.
Just taking this idea from Luca.
Oh, Brownie feels like the stream needs a bit of Ariana Grande. I can tell you now, Thunderpants,
Well,
this stream does
if,
not need that.
What if he was singing it?
Well, yeah.
That's probably the only way I'd accept it.
Yeah. You quickly send me a soundbite of you singing Ariana Grande, and I will play it on stream right now. The dislike was probably for the sick tunes you were playing earlier. Yes. Quite possibly.
I don't want to add any more logos because it starts getting a bit too busy.
Bit too clustered, yeah. No, that looks good. I like that. That looks real good. No, I like it. Yeah. No, that is nice. That is nice. So if you haven't given the stream a thumbs up, maybe now is when we just earned it.
Maybe.
But I'd give that a thumbs up. I'd put a thumb up. That's how much I like that. Are you going to go take a fancy picture?
Yeah, I can do that.
Go on, go take a fancy picture with it.
Yeah.
Just checking out all the little...
No, that's good.
Dom's given it 1,000 out of 10. Shell is the official sponsor of the 1.2, says Shannon. That's only because you put 2 petrol sponsors on your car.
I was going to say, yeah, he made to do that.
Yeah. Work is done. Looks a good one. Thanks, Muppet. Don't know why I'm thanking you. Just for commenting, I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess it works.
Why the Red Bull signage? Asks Oz Farmer.
Oh, you don't mind a bit of Red Bull?
I don't mind a bit of Red Bull.
On a Gizzy level?
Yeah. Brownie takes Selena Gomez. then I'll thumbs up on all 5 of my YouTube accounts. That's okay. You keep your thumbs up. Tuka says cool livery from near Darwin.
From near Darwin.
Nice. Cool livery from near Darwin. Nice, especially. Yeah.
You may as well say a hell of a long time, a long distance away from here.
Yes.
As opposed to from near Darwin, because they mean the exact same.
Yeah, pretty much. Vesky66 ended up staying for a bit. Now I'm definitely going to bed. Oh, is it getting late? Is it, dude? Have a good one, everyone. Thank you very much for joining, Vesky. Appreciate you stopping by, man. You have yourself a good sleep. Sorry to hear about your Bathurst results. That's okay, Jamberson. I think your teammate wasn't quite ready for that. Look, it was a learning experience for both of us. It was what it was. It was our first time doing a iRacing endurance race for both of us, and in fact, that was both of our longest races we've ever done. Many years ago, I did a 6-hour race, I think it was on R Factor, and a couple of 4 hours. And I did do one 4-hour solo race. They're sort of my previous experiences, but that was tough. Overnight, we both made plenty of mistakes. We learned a lot. We'll be ready for next time. I would like to, at some point, hopefully bring you a race with Ryan as well. If you can get shit together, Ryan, and get your license level up in iRating, or your iRating.
Yeah, look, I mean, if I stop bloody doing people's liveries...
Yeah, true.
I'll have more time to do some...
But it would be nice to do one with you, Ryan, and maybe we could team up still with...
That's the plan, and essentially that's why we did get into me doing that.
Well, that's the whole reason we both got into iRacing, for some of these cool, longer endurance races.
Yeah. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. It's a Ryan classic, it is. Will you make your helmet and jacket suit as well? No, Alex, I think I'll stick with my suited suit. My tuxedo suit. Cool livery from nowhere near Tassie. Thanks, Dave. Final offer, Stone Alive by the BGs. If you were singing Brownie, I'd do it. Dom from Werribee. Those Enduros are a ticket to Hemorrhoid Town. Yeah, your ass hurts. And I did end up sitting on a cushion, by the way. For that last 3-hour stint, but it didn't matter. My ass still got very sore. I wouldn't let it bother either of you too much, though. Even the top split didn't have a single clean car at the end. Nah, look, I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool, Jamberson. I'm happy enough with how it went. It did get a little bit emotional there in the middle section, obviously, when the engine blew up, and then I saw, having waited friggin' 3 minutes to get towed back to the pits, when I saw 41 minutes in there, it crushed my soul a little bit. Obviously, I dropped an F-bomb, which I always try not to do on my stream if I can help it. Ryan usually has that well covered for me.
Yeah,
but you weren't there.
Much.
You weren't in the chat. So I thought, you know what? Boom. F-bombs.
Need to make up for it.
Yeah. But once I took a bit of a spell from that, especially when I was watching Rory, and Rory's race really did go to absolute shit. I do feel sorry for him because he just had a real bad run. He binned it. He was in the pits for 14 minutes or something, and then got out and binned it again. And then the engine blew up whilst he was in the pits getting repaired. And you have to laugh at it. He had a real rough trot. And look, it could have happened to me as well. So, go to the bonnet view if you can, Ryan, because remember a couple of times we've seen little defects and weird things from the bonnet view.
I'll sort that out. I'm just trying to get around the lap so I can take a photo.
Fair call. I did get a bit emotional on the last lap down Conrad. Yeah, a little bit, Jules. But the end of the race was a little bit emotional as well, just for the sake of how tired I was and the fact that it was over and I'd done it cleanly. I held the tears back because I guess I'm not that much of a crier, but yeah, it was emotional. Did you just hit the wall?
I think so. I can't.
It's no big deal.
I don't have the. I don't have any noise, so I don't know how fast I was going.
True story. Cool livery from the murder capital of Australia. Yeah, true that. Over in South Oz there, Mojo. You're going. Speedy Chicken, I like how you announce that. Going, full stop, to play some GTA. Nice livery, man. Thank you for your straight to the point, brief yet honest review of Ryan's livery. Oh, into
Ping every wall on the way down.
Just ping. Are you actually going to have any nice panels on your car left, or?
I'm hoping because it's a time trial that there'll be no damage.
Ah, right. Didn't think of that.
I'm hoping.
It's probably probably visible damage.
Yeah, maybe.
You considering playing Apex Legends? I downloaded it and I played one game and I died in about 12 seconds, and then I was like, I'm still really tired from the weekend, so I went out to the lounge room where my PlayStation had been for 3 weeks and played a couple of games of Paladins, and that was about me. Got back to watching The Punisher.
You'll have to deal with the fact that I'm in your car though.
How do you mean?
Well, my helmet's in there, so I'm...
True. Well, don't take a picture of your helmet, will you?
I'll try.
Does look pretty cool. It is a little bit brown though, that gold, isn't it? When you get her out in the sun like that.
It's probably lighting.
It is. It would be lighting. It's just it's a touch brown, but nonetheless, it still looks damn cool. So where are you going to take the picture from? Honestly, you need to give it a proper go. Oh, Will. No, Brownie, I'm definitely going to give that game a go. I just don't know when. Last night was my chance. I was pretty buggered, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Still knackered after the weekend. I slept like a demon on Sunday night. As you can imagine, I actually deliberately stayed up all day Sunday because I thought I didn't finish streaming till 1:30 when the race was over. And I thought, now is a terrible time to go to sleep because I already slept weird hours the day before and previous, just trying to catch an hour here and there. I thought I don't want to go to work on Monday sort of half jet lag because I got myself out of kilter. So I waited. And Sunday night, I passed out so bad. I'd already nodded off on the couch twice. And I was still pretty shagged yesterday. So I just didn't have it in me to learn a new game and everything like that. I was like, nah, whatever. It's whatever. I'll come back to it. Honestly, Charlie, you need to give it a proper go. That was that. I'd second that. Yes, my helmet is there. Does it look Brownsy? Question mark. If this was Far Race, it would be the return of the Poohmobile. Now that looks pretty nice. You can definitely tell that's gold. Is the car a bit blurred though? Can you de-blur it in the photo? Change the shutter speed.
Oh, these things are things you can do, yeah. But
I wanted to really emphasise my hatred towards you. Ouch. Things are getting rough in the comments. Hubie and now Mojo's on Brownsy's hit list. Shagged yesterday, lucky for some, yeah, but not the way you're thinking, Dom. Luke has given you the looks great, mate. Just wondering what cars are being used for the P Cars 1.2 hours. GT3.
I'm keen to use the Bentley.
Yeah, I'm keen to use something different as well. I haven't decided what yet. There's only a couple of cars that are different, so my options are narrowed. But
the Bentley.
The Bentley. No, there's at least two. What's the other one that's on P Cars and not in Gran Turismo? I'm pretty sure there's two GT3 cars. So it'll probably be one of the two that GT3 don't have. Might not be the quickest, but I'll get it done. Actually, I think the Bentley's a pig in Project Cars, isn't it?
No, I don't know. Still going to race it.
Fair call. Fair call.
Because you know what you can do? You can do a setup.
You can. You absolutely can. The Ginetta is another one. The Bentley and the Ginetta, are they it? They're the only two.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The Ginetta is actually really solid.
The Ginetta is great. I actually have a suspicion Ginetta helped out substantially with paying for Project Cars because all the Ginettas in every category they're in are really good cars.
Well, I remember once I was doing lap after lap after lap at Spa because we were going to do an online race there for something. I can't remember. It was forever ago.
Yeah, yep.
And
it was on P Cars 1 though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then just gave the Ginetta a go, and I think I was like a second and a half quicker than I'd ever gone around there.
Yeah, right.
So,
the Cadillac as well. Yeah, maybe the Cadillac. I don't know.
The CDSV.
Oh, man was thinking about using the Bentley as well. So it might be the Bentley Cup. Who knows?
Bentley Cup.
Oh, that's right. The Ferrari is the 488 instead of the 458. And MR cars don't handle like total dog shit. So there could be a few cool things.
Yeah, well, there is that. Maybe I might actually get to race my Ferrari.
Maybe you will. Could you, are you able to shoot me a picture of that?
Yeah, I can do that.
I'd love to use that. Thanks, man. A
I
skip.
should actually make sure I took that photo.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's good. That's good, Ryan. And there's no point in flogging this stream for any longer than it needs to be. It's at 1 hour 51, so...
It's spot on almost 2 hours, though.
Pretty much, near enough makes no difference. It's been awesome. I've absolutely been hanging out for just a relaxed, chilled stream. This is the perfect stream I could have hoped for after that Bathurst 12 hour, which was intense from a content creator perspective as well as just simply racing it. And honestly, something like this, chilled out, having a few beers, having a chat, actually being able to focus on the comments, which I had to ignore so many of during the 12 hour because I had to concentrate. It's been really, really great. So, on that note, that is going to be the end. So, thank you all very much for watching, whether you're watching this live now or later on as a video. I appreciate you stopping by. And of course, a massive thank you to Ryan, who not only joined me for the chats and the banters, but actually made the damn livery. So congratulations on your livery, Ryan, and thank you.
No worries.
Massive thank you to those that were kind enough to leave a like. And a big welcome to the couple of new subscribers that clicked on then. And finally, make sure, as I said before, get on the social things. Discord is really kicking at the moment. It is alive. There are so many people. I mean, it's been lit up since we created this Bathurst 1.2 race. And it's not just about that either. It's about everything at the moment. Discord is alive, and it's really wicked. I'm enjoying it. So even if you aren't on Discord and you don't really know how it works, it's dead easy. Download it, get on it. It's fantastic. And yeah, obviously Twitter's probably the other thing I seem to be the most frequent on these days. So get on that. If you want to find any of the links or find out what's going on with the Bathurst 1.2 hour, check the rules, check everything. It's all on my website, www.charlierosco.com. You can see it down the bottom right hand corner. But that is going to be it. So unless there's anything else you wanted to add there, Ryan?
Pretty happy with how well this turned out considering it's 2 hours.
It was quick and it was good.
Mine Eastern would be at least 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it would
So,
be. Most of your liveries are. Ooh, who was that just subscribed? I'm going to welcome them before I go. We are waiting.
Alex K.
Alex K. Thank
Welcome
you very
and
much.
goodbye.
Welcome. Yeah, welcome. No, he's been here for a while. I remember talking to him, answering a question of his before. So thanks again, guys, and I can't wait to talk to you all next time. But for now, it is goodbye.